my way of doing these Celtic knots. And I'm using a Penn State No 10 and twist pin. First off, make sure that blank is exactly the same size all the way around, and be sure that end is absolutely square. If it ain't square, as you make your cut and then you turn to make the next cut, it's going to move and throw it way off. And I'll put these marks on there to be sure that I cut from this, make all my cuts from the same end. And I rub these corners off so it registers back a lot better. I see a lot of the pins, they look good until they rotate them and you see that knot shrinking and growing and shrinking and growing. And what I'm doing here, I think, goes a long way toward eliminating that. Now right here, that first mark, that's for the long section. I'll move this stop up to this mark for the short section. And I don't need to hear from the safety police about this. So here we go. And that's it. Okay. Now you got your two pieces. Now our insert. You make the insert exactly as wide as the kerf of the saw, and I'll show you how to do that here next. Say how I cut for the inserts. First off, I'm going to shave a little bit off of this. I know I got a good edge here too because I've been using it. Alright, you want that blade saw. You want twice the kerf of the saw to allow for the cut plus the meat you want to cut off. So as close as I can measure, this thing cuts 95 thou, so twice that's 190. So I use these things right here. These gauge blocks. Use 100 and a 90. A little tricky to get them in there. And a 120 and a 70. And that spaces me over my 190. Now here's where you got to watch. You loosen your fence up. Don't let that block of wood move. Now bring the fence back to the block of wood and lock it down. And there's your insert material. It's a 190 thickness, and right here's the piece. I cut it down lengthwise, so it's just a little bit narrower than the piece that I'm using. I also cut it on the angle, the same as I cut for the blank. Here's a little jig I made to glue it up. I use this metal so the clamp doesn't crush the wood. And this here, the reason I did this is every time I lay something down I can't find it, so I put that screw in there and put it so I know where it's at. And I put the tape there so if there's any glue squeezes that, it don't bond up. You don't have to beat it to get it off of there. And just like that. Now, you see how the insert sits right in there perfectly. And you don't need to put a ton of glue on it. That's all you need. And do the other side. Drop it right in there. Put your top section on. Put it right under the drill press. Just down, just to put a little pressure on it. That's all you need. And lock it down. And leave it set, give it time to cure up. Alright, we're going to take him out. And also, I didn't tell you, I marked the center of that. I use a cut to get it as close as I can get it. Okay, now there you are. And what you'll do, you just repeat what I did on the cuts. Make another cut, put it back in here, glue it, until you make all 4 of your cuts. Now, if I have a 4-jaw chuck on the lathe, I'll do it on the lathe. If not, I'll do it on the mill. Just stand it upright and use the center point to get to my center. Use the center drill. Don't, as you run that bit down, it's going to want to walk. Use the center drill just like you would in a piece of metal. Now, if I got the 4-jaw chuck on the lathe, I'll show you here how I do it in the lathe. That piece, it's just a piece of 1/16 inch brass. That's what I had, so that's what I used. Put another on. Put another one on. And put the last one on. What that does, it stops them chuck jaws from crushing that wood. You put it and get your point centered up again, and use the center drill. And when you get down here, where all those inserts, go very, very slow, because I believe that would be an oriented difference than this part will make that bit want to walk. And it'll be center up here. When you come at this end, it's going to be off center. So just go very, very slow. Come up, let the drill bit clear the flutes, the chuck. Especially because the glue and stuff gets on, it's going to want to clog up. Back up. Go very slow till you get past it. And that's all there is to it. All right, this is what I ended up with. It's not 100% perfect, but it's way more concentric than a lot of them I've seen. And that's it.